Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Any Button Gaming. As always, I'm your host, Jesse Georgian. Happy Friday. It is sports week, and we are back with our guest, Mitch Milani. Mitch, you absolutely destroyed me in Madden. I think I did pretty good for someone that started playing 5 days ago, right?
I agree. I was actually impressed. I was like, maybe I'm going to have to let this guy score a couple times. I still was kind of doing that, but it wasn't to the point where this guy's incompetent. He doesn't know what he's doing. You knew what you were doing, so that was good.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Give me a couple of weeks, like I said, and I will be back for a rematch. But I had a ton of questions for you, so let's just get started. My first question for you is: have you always been a gamer? Has it always just kind of been sports games, or are you more of just like a traditional gamer overall?
I'm a gamer. I would consider myself a gamer, but I think as I've grown older, it's become I don't have as much time to just play every game, so I only play a few games here and there. If it's with friends, mostly Madden for the league. That's definitely my primary game, my primary focus. But I also love playing, NHL or any shooter that my friends happen to be on. But when I grew up, man, I played every system, every game, every console. It didn't matter.
Now, you brought up Madden. That's something I want to ask you about. So, over the last few years, I feel like we've seen sports games blow up, especially in the esports community. So, what do you think it is about sports games specifically that's been able to draw in so many fans that might not even be a fan of the actual sport itself, but still enjoy the game?
I think it's the competitive aspect of the one-on-one, me versus you sports element. I mean, sports are kind of popular all over the world. So it's impossible to just not know whether it's FIFA for soccer or football or the NFL for Madden or whatever it may be. I mean, everybody kind of knows sports, even if they're not sports fans. So there's that drive there. But also, I just think it's more because a lot of these games are you're playing on a team more so than you're playing individually. I think sports games are more so focused for the individual trying to outdo their opponent.
For sure, I totally agree with you, and I think that's kind of what makes Madden so good. We talked about it a little bit in the stream, but that competitiveness, that like
Yeah.
trying to outwit your opponent, like trying to figure out what they're gonna run and how to counteract. I think that's what makes Madden such a good game. And kind of to go off of that, I want to ask you about loyal to the game. You brought up your league, so for those people that don't know, what is loyal to the game? Tell us a little bit about it.
Loyal to the Game is a Madden franchise, online franchise that has been a part of my life for the last decade. I've been a part of this league since I was very young, and it's a Madden franchise where you have every owner in the NFL. So all 32 teams, they have an owner, they have a GM. Think of the classic franchise mode in if you've played NHL or FIFA or Madden, but imagine the whole league consisting of one person owning every team. So you make your GM moves, you play your games every week, and it's a community more than anything else. More than our focus for the project we're doing for the league, Loyal to the Game, is to tell the stories of the league, to tell the stories of the personalities, more so than the game itself. Of course, there's the competition aspect there, but over the past 10 years, we've grown as a family more than anything.
And how did that kind of get started? Because like you said, franchise mode, I've done a bunch of them, but it's always been like 6, 8, maybe 10 people. How did you manage to build a community like that with, like you said, like a full league? Everyone has their own team.
Madden 10 introduced the online franchise. I believe was the first sports game to introduce a concept that was an online franchise. I know NHL introduced it as well a little bit later and then took it out of the game. But for Madden 10 started it where everyone was just all about joining a franchise. And there was just all these Madden gamers trying to find a league. So that's when it started. And it became, we would find, I remember searching it up just on Google, like Madden online franchise league or whatever to join on PS3. And then you would join a forum. So it'd be like an online forum. And all these guys are in the forum, like setting up games and stuff, like what time can you play? That's how it kind of started. And then it evolved into now we have like a group me chat where everybody's in there. We talk constantly every day. We trash talk each other. We talk about everyday life stuff. And that's kind of what it's evolved into today, where we are like basically, like I said, a family. We talk to each other daily, you know, nonstop, whether it's about football on Sundays, our fantasy teams, or it's about our friendships, our family, our kids in the league, right? So yeah, it's started in Madden 10 and it's grown ever since.
I love that you brought up kind of like where it started in terms of like going online and going through
Yeah,
forums trying to find something, because I used to do the exact same thing with NBA 2K, like
yeah.
joining random people's leagues just for the sake of being in a league for that competition. So I totally understand. I might have to join a couple Madden leagues myself. Let me know if there's any open spots in your league.
Cool.
But another aspect I wanted to talk about is YouTube. So you've been able to grow quite a following on YouTube. I think you have over 27,000 followers. So how did that kind of start? Was it more something you just want to do for fun, or did you really kind of take it serious from the jump?
I didn't take it serious from the jump. I actually started while I was still in high school, like not really like focusing on it, but just kind of like making crappy videos with like a little webcam and just talking about whatever it was. And the channel actually consisted, it's called The Bottom Line View. The way that I named it was based on Stone Cold Steve Austin's catchphrase, "That's the
And
bottom
that's the
line."
bottom line. Yep.
It started as a wrestling channel and an NFL channel, and then it kind of grew for a period where I was still kind of finding my niche. What was I going to do, you know, in terms of content? And then it grew into wrestling, football, hockey, basketball, like everything I could cover, but it was just too much and it was spreading the audience too much. So over the past like 2 years, I'd say I focused on the NFL primarily, and it's been a passion since I would say before I went, before I went to Ryerson. And it's grown ever since. But I didn't really necessarily know where it was going to go when I was like 16 years old making videos.
And I think, so many young people nowadays, like almost
Mm-hmm.
it's like the dream is I want to be a YouTuber. I want to make it big on YouTube, whether it's gaming or sports or anything like that. So what kind of advice would you give for the aspiring YouTuber who's trying to grow their channel?
I'm still growing my channel, so I'm still learning. And that's something that you can never close yourself off to, I think, is never stop learning from others, people that have advice, people that are on the platform, people that maybe know something that you don't know. So that's the first thing. Never stop learning, study like it's a sport, study what your competition's doing, what's working on YouTube, what's getting traction, what's not getting traction. But more importantly than anything else, more importantly than putting the right tags on your video or the right thumbnail or having the right microphone, like more important than anything else is just effort and consistency. I know it sounds really cliche, but it's honestly like the truth. Like the only reason I have somewhat grown over these past couple of years is like I just post all the time and I'm super consistent. And now that I've found my presence on camera and kind of what I'm doing from a schedule standpoint, that's where you can see growth. If you're just going to go out there and not put any effort into it, it's never going to grow. But you need to stay consistent and you need to put the effort in.
Yeah, I think you hit it perfectly. Like consistency, we've had a couple of different streamers on it, and I try to ask a similar question, like that type of question, because there's so many people that
Yeah.
want to create their own channel, and every single one of them says consistency. It's all about being consistent. Mitch, I got one last question for you. A question I like to ask everybody. Of
Okay.
course, we're a gaming channel here. We're all
Yep.
about video games. So, what was your favorite moment ever playing video games? Like, at what point were you happiest? What gaming moment made you the happiest? I know I'm putting you on the spot.
Man, that's tough. There's so many. Like you could almost divide them into different categories. Like from me playing individually, completing a story kind of game to me playing with my friends, constantly, or me playing with my dad, like on Madden 05, like beating him for the first time. But I think the biggest moment ever, I have the game actually right here. It's pretty crazy. Madden 11.
Wow.
This is a very important game to me because this is the first game that I actually like legitimately got good at Madden. Like I was like decent at Madden 10 and I won 2 Super Bowls in loyal in Madden 11. And those like when I was like 14 years old. So that was a huge moment for me as a gamer. Like it forever stuck with me and it's forever my favorite Madden. because of that.
I love it. I love to hear it. Well, like I said, be ready for a couple weeks. I'm gonna send you that
Oh yeah, do it.
but Mitch, thank you for taking the time to talk to us. I really appreciate it. Best of luck with Loyal to the Game. Everything you're doing there is amazing. And thank you everyone for watching this video. Thank you guys for watching Any Button Gaming, and we'll see you guys next week.